you like to achieve during your term as Vice President External?
Well, coming into this run for my candidacy, I've come to see that on campus we have a lot of programs and services. As just an ordinary student, I never really knew that whole list. So I think even though we have great programs, it's not really voiced out to the average student on campus. And as I guess I can say, as a former athlete, I think it's really nice to have the support of your campus to acknowledge you as an athlete representing the campus. And that's my main focus, is to at least get things voiced out to the students on campus so they know what we're campaigning, and they know the issues, and they can voice their issues if we're not really touching up on them. So that's my reason for campaigning for my position as Vice President External.
Great, and you're right at 1 minute. So let's reset that here. So what non-academic experience do you bring to the position? Like you mentioned sports, or like what other groups have you been?
Oh yeah, so I played on the Bison football team 2 seasons ago. Okay. In my own African community, I was youth coordinator. Okay. And I've picked up many jobs in the city, so be it leadership or just work Monday to Friday, I've pretty much done that, so I hold myself accountable for any upcoming challenges.
Cool. So you mentioned you're a youth leader. Was it with like a certain organization, or just sort of generally within the community?
Yeah, it was for a subset of the African community. I'm from Ghana. Okay. So I was in charge of that, and we had some pretty cool activities like Ghanaian Idol.
Nice.
So I hosted a bit of that at the Deaf Center on Pembina. Okay. And just being creative and giving the youth opportunities to have fun and not take everything so seriously is great.
Great. Awesome. So a large part of like the job of VP External is organizing different campaigns both on and off campus. So if elected, what campaigns would you like to work on?
All right, perfect. Well, we just came off of doing a Day of Action just last month. I think that was a great success. That was the first time I actually went out to the legislative building. So I think I'll just continue on with the campaigns we do have as of now, and depending on the feedback, I might brush up on some new ideas. But one thing I'd really like to add with that is to support our athletes on campus and give them that extra punch to know that we're behind them in all their decisions and challenges as an athlete.
Awesome. Yeah, in my personal opinion, I don't think Bison sports usually get a lot of enough attention on campus. That's awesome. Yeah. So another large part of the job is obviously working with the Canadian Federation of Students. So I was wondering I was just wondering generally, like what are your thoughts on the Canadian Federation of Students and AMSU's relationship with the CFS?
I think the Canadian Federation of Students is great. Checking up on the list, you see that every province, or most of our provinces, have some relation with the Canadian Federation of Students, and just bringing up our general issues in Canada and seeing the best ways to deal with our problems and to bring back that feedback to your campus is something that I really want to work on. Getting to know the heads of the board and bringing back what suggestions they might have for us, and to see how better we can make things on campus.
Great, awesome. So are there any other organizations outside the university that you would like to work with if elected? I know from experience, most of the time, like in the past, different vice president externals have, formed partnerships with different Aboriginal community, First Nations organizations or organizations dealing with like newcomers to Canada. So if you were elected, like are there outside organizations outside the university that you might like to form partnerships with? Okay.
Well, one thing I think we all as Winnipeggers have come to see, that the University of Winnipeg is opening their, faculties. They're now joining in with Faculty of Science and other departments on campus. First thing, I'd probably like to get to know our other campuses in Winnipeg and to see how they relate with us, what we can work on together, And speaking up on First Nations, I do know there is a cap on the amount of funding
Right.
our Aboriginals get coming to school, and that's one thing we definitely like to reduce or drop, hopefully with our campaigns coming up this year.
Awesome. Great. Well, that about wraps up the interview. So, yeah, thanks so much for coming in.
Perfect. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you.